All right, we're going to talk about some things you should check if your VM cannot connect to the internet. First off, we'll look at the actual settings for the network adapter. You go to Player, removable devices, network adapter settings. If you click on this Configure Adapters button, it shows you all the different interfaces you have on your PC, and we've had issues in the past where this binds to the incorrect interface. So if you know you want it to be your wireless, like this is my wireless card, if you know you want it to be your wireless, you can select your wireless. If you know you're using your uh, physical connection, you can tell it to use your physical wired connection. That would be the first thing I would check to make sure that only the actual interfaces you want it to use are enabled. If you're using wireless, I would say just use wireless. Right now I'm using wireless, so I will do that. Then you hit stupid window. I upgraded to Windows 10, and I kind of hate it, and my resolution has changed to this ridiculous resolution, and I spent like 2 minutes trying to get it back to a different resolution, and it won't go back, and I can't find a way to get my windows smaller, so the stupid things are off the screen. Really frustrating, but I never use this laptop. I'm only using the Windows so I can show you what it looks like for you. But anyway, into that rant. So that's the first thing to check. Make sure you are connected to the interface you want to be connected to. Next thing you can do is, run a command to see if you have an IP address. Ifconfig is a command that can do that. If you're like wanting to use the newest command, it's ipadderlist. I don't think you need sudo for that. I don't know why I did sudo. It'll tell you if you have interfaces or not. So I have an IP address. If you do not have an IP address, you should consider, do you think you should have an IP address? If you're on a network that gives out addresses via DHCP, then you probably should have an IP address. If you do not, then there's something else going on that's preventing your VM from getting an IP. You could try things such as turn off your Windows firewall temporarily if you have one on, and do something like sudo service networking restart, and that will that should in theory try to update your networking. You could, I guess, click on this little thing here if you like GUIs and turn the network off and then turn it back on again. If you are on a network that is not giving out DHCP addresses, and you will need to statically set your address. You can do it using this GUI. You can edit it to change that to have an address, a static address, whatever you want it to be. Go to IPv4, change this to manual, and statically set it if you want to. If you can try that. If you have an IP address and it's not on the right network, say you're using a laptop and you took it to hack, so you got a 172.23 address, when you get home, just do the little turn it off and turn it back on again thing to get an IP address. If you cannot get it working in this configuration with the bridged adapter, it thinks it's directly connected to your network. If you can't get that working, you can try. So you will want to change your settings from bridged to NAT, and you do that under removable devices, network adapter, settings. We'll want to change this to NAT, which puts your PC, your VM on what is essentially a private network that the outside world doesn't know about, and all your traffic will look like it's coming from your host machine, your hypervisor machine. So that usually works more reliably. So there you see I have a IP address and a different subnet now. So all my traffic will appear to be coming from the IP address of my host machine for me to get out to the internet or to whatever network we happen to be on. A note about hack open wireless: if you happen to take your laptop to hack and you're working, it does not like bridged mode. If you're on the hack open wireless, then you will need to switch to NAT mode for it to work. And those are the most common problems people have with the networking in the VM. If you've gone through those things and it's still not working, then let me know and we'll see what else we can look at.